Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good to see
Welcome
you.
to class. Hi, good to see you. Okay, so far we have Victor. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how
Katie.
are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Good. I'm doing well. And where are you calling from, Victor?
I'm from Russia.
From Russia. Nice to meet you.
Nice
And
to meet you as well.
and Ming?
I'm from Hong Kong.
Hi, from Hong Kong. Nice to meet you too. Okay, and so what are your backgrounds in English? Have you been studying English for a long time?
No.
I have been studying English about 8 months.
For 8 months, okay. And you?
I think under 2 years.
About 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And have both of you done classes with Burbling before?
And yes, a few months.
For a few months.
Yeah, few months.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Victor? You too?
Sorry, I didn't hear the
Have
question
you?
clear.
Sorry. Have you done classes on Burbling before?
Yes, of course. Whole
Yes, of
8
course.
months.
For all 8 months. Good. Great. And hello, Adnan.
Hello, Katie.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, fine.
Great. And where are you calling from?
From Colombia.
From Colombia. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Okay. And how long have you been studying English?
With Berlin?
In general, and with Burbling.
I don't know, 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah,
Okay. And with Burbling?
but with Berlin, 2 months. The
2
last
months.
2 months. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So today, as you know, we'll be talking about giving advice. And we'll be using, I'll give you an idea of what our class will look like. So first, we'll review some of the modal verbs that we use to give advice. So should, would, could, some different structures like if I were you, I would do this, right? Are these familiar to you?
More or less.
More or less. Okay. Hello, welcome if you're just arriving. Okay. So to start off today's topic, I have a question for you. And it is, who do you usually ask for advice?
I usually ask Google.
You usually ask Google. Okay. Good. Who was that?
Victor.
Okay. Good, Victor. Okay, so Victor usually asks Google for advice. So the question is, who do you normally ask for advice? Chime in if you have an answer. Who do you normally ask for advice?
I think in myself.
You think yourself, you don't ask for advice.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
In some places, I don't know.
You go to certain places?
Yeah,
Okay, so what do you mean? Give me an example.
I don't know, but for example, malls or buildings, and on some cases when you go to different events, for example, a football match.
A football match. So we're talking about when you ask for advice. You ask for advice at a football match?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Right? So if you're with your friends, I guess. So normally some people I ask for advice are friends, family members, but it depends on the situation, right? So if I have a health problem, I'm not going to ask for advice from a best friend. I'm going to ask for advice from who?
Doctor.
A doctor, right? Okay, good. So let's introduce the modal verbs that we'll be talking about today. So some of these, I'll type them in the box for you. Some of them include can, could, must, may, might, will, would, and should. Okay, so besides giving advice, does anyone know what these verbs are used for? Give me some uses.
You shouldn't swim far into the sea.
You shouldn't swim far into the sea. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a great use of should for giving advice. But what I was asking is, these modal verbs have other uses. So apart from giving advice, how can we use these verbs? One example is you can use the verb can to express ability, right? So you could say, I can speak English, but I cannot speak Chinese, right? Does anyone else know of some other uses?
May I?
May I, right? To ask for permission. Excellent, good. So may I open the window? It's a bit hot in here.
No, I'm asking, may I give some example?
Ah, good, okay, but you gave one already, but yes. Okay,
Yes.
give some
For
examples.
example, the modal verb must. It expresses also some kind of responsibility, yes?
Good,
You must do.
responsibility, or obligation, we like to say.
Yes.
So must is used for obligation. So do you have an example using must?
Yes, for example, you must work hard.
You must work hard. Good, right? If you want to succeed, you must work hard,
Yes.
right? Or your parents might say, if you want to get a good job, you must study it at university, right? So very good.
Yes.
And then what do we use could for? What is could used for?
Well, it's optional, no? When you have more options, you can you use cold.
Very good. Okay, so it's optional. And so we say could is used to express possibility.
Yeah.
Possibility.
Probability.
Probability, not usually. Could is kind of ambiguous, right? So when you say something will probably happen, that's expressing probability. When you say something could happen or might happen, that's when you're not quite as sure. It's more of a possibility.
Can we use it for permission also?
Yeah, absolutely. So an example of that would be a common one from my students in high school is, could I please use the toilet? Right? So could I do this? Could I do that? It's a polite way of asking for permission. Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. So one quick note is modal verbs are different from any other verb. Okay, so they do not change their form. So if you have the verb to eat, for instance, I eat, you eat, he, what? He eats, right? We add the S. And that happens with almost every verb in the present tense. But modal verbs are an exception. They do not change their form. So you would say, I can, you can, he, she can, right? So just a quick note. Okay. And so for giving advice, we're going to focus on all of these verbs. And I'll specify So we're not going to use all of the modal verbs, and we will be adding some expressions. So take a look in the verbling box. I've posted some modal verbs and some extras, and I want you to take a minute, read these verbs, and decide which of them are the strongest, so which ones express obligations, and which ones are more for suggestions. I want you to try to put these verbs in order from strongest to least strong. And when you think you have an answer, you can go ahead and tell me. Okay, so if you just joined, we're trying to, okay. So if you're typing, just for future reference, if you're typing, please type in the verbling box instead of the chat box. So with Xian, I'm going to copy your message into the verbling box. Okay, so what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Agree.
Do you think this order is correct? You agree?
Totally agree.
You agree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So good. This is very good. So, have to and must. These are synonyms, and I would say they're about equally strong. Have to and must both express obligation, right? There's no choice here. So you have to wash the dishes. You must wash the dishes. You have no other choice. Had better. Good. Had better would definitely come next. Had better is used, it's a strong suggestion, right? You had better do this, you had better study, or you will fail the exam. It's still your choice, but it's something you should probably do. And you might notice, in English, when we're speaking, you might hear, you better, da-da-da. So when we're speaking, we often leave out the had. Writing, you always want to say you had better or you'd better. Right? This is correct. So without the had, excuse me, it's not correct, but it's very common. It's a common thing you'll hear speaking. Okay. Should and shouldn't, good. Those are an option, right? It's a suggestion. You should do this. It's I would say a medium strength suggestion. Very good. Would and wouldn't. So here we use a special structure to give advice. Does anyone know how we use the verb would to give advice? Yes?
Maybe invite.
Okay. Writing, you mean?
Would.
Okay, so with would, okay, so good. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Gela or Jella?
For example, would you pass me something?
Yeah, would you pass me something? Okay, so that's using it as a synonym for could. Could you pass me the bread? Would you mind, or would you pass me the bread? Good. Another way, though, is to say, what I was looking for is when we use a structure in the second condition. So we say, if I were you, I would, da-da-da, right? So imagine that my problem is I can't find my keys. I seem to have lost my keys to my house. And I say, oh, I'm so worried, what should I do? Can someone give me some advice using this structure? If I were you,
You will go to the police station, for example.
Good. So the way we'd say that is, if I were you, I would go to the police station. Right? Does anyone have questions about this structure? No. Okay, this one is good, excellent. So if I were you, I would search for it in a different room. Okay, so another good suggestion. All right, and then could and might, right? Those are very weak suggestions, and they're often used to be polite. So, oh, you might want to try this, right? So if you're talking to your boss, for instance, you would probably use could or might and not must, because you want to be polite. Okay, so any questions so far? All right, so I'm going to give you, it's clear. All right, okay, and if you just look in the chat box, someone suggested, if I were you, I'd get into the house through the window. Okay, another good but dangerous suggestion. Okay, so I'm going to now we'll go to the speaking part of this class. Okay, so I want everyone to be engaged, and feel free to just jump in and speak whenever you want. So I'm going to offer some situations, some problems, and I want you to use different modal verbs to give me advice. Okay? So we'll do an example. So imagine that my friend John has a problem. And his problem is that he saw his best friend's girlfriend with another boy holding hands at the mall. And he wants to tell his friend, but he is afraid. What would your advice be to John? So someone give me a suggestion. Here, I'll copy the problem. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
He should find another girlfriend.
He should find another girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay? But the problem is, it's not John, it's John's friend. So John is deciding, should he tell his friend or not?
Okay, may I tell?
Absolutely.
If he is the best friend, I think he should tell him. He should tell.
He should tell his friend.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so if you were John, you would tell your friend.
I would be very accurate about it, but I would tell him, yes.
Great. Okay. So, and what if you wanted to give John very strong advice? Which modal verbs would you use?
He must break up.
You must break up with her. Great.
Yes.
And then what if John is your boss? How might you make a suggestion to him?
Might, for example.
So, an example sentence?
Like, you might find new friends, new girlfriend.
Good. You might, yeah, good. So you would be polite about it and say, you might want to find a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because I saw this happen.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I'm going to ask you one by one. I'm going to present you with a problem. Okay, an imaginary problem. And I want you to offer me a solution to this problem using these modal verbs. Okay? All right, so who would like to go first? Who is a brave soul in this class?
Okay, I'd like to go first.
Okay, great. And it's Amir?
Yes, Amr.
Yes, Amr. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so here's my problem. I just came back from a trip, and the airline lost my luggage. What should I do?
Are you still in the airport?
Okay.
Okay.
So you'd say, so go ahead.
Are you still in the airport? You go to a hotel?
Okay, so you would. So which structure can we use to do this?
No, I'm asking you after you lost your luggage. You go to a hotel or you're still in the airport?
Okay. No, I'm going to a hotel.
Okay. You can you can call the airport and find the office that responsible for something like that. I think there is a office and the employee responsible for something like that, and you will explain this problem and tell them your luggage how that looks like, and they
What it
will
looks like?
answer you. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, so a very thorough answer using the modal verb can. So you can call this office, or you can go to a specific office. Okay, excellent. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Dharma, yes?
Yep.
Great. Okay, my problem is I gained 5 kilograms last month.
You should go to the gym.
You should go to the gym. Good. Okay, short and sweet. Excellent. Who's next?
Okay, I will be.
All right. Okay, I have an interesting problem. My boss keeps asking me to go on a date. What should I do?
I will suggest, if I were you, I will be very accurate about this.
If I were you, I would be.
I would be very accurate about this situation.
Good. Okay. So one note. Okay. Excellent use of the modal verb. One note. When we say the word accurate, it usually means. So I think what you're trying to say is you would be very honest or very straightforward.
Yes.
Right? So straightforward or honest. Accurate usually means more correct.
No,
right?
I meant to be more careful.
Okay. So you would be more careful. Okay, good. So if I were you, I would be very careful.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Who will give me advice next? I'll start choosing people at random. Let's see. David? Are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
David, okay. So my problem is I can't fall asleep at night. What should I do?
Okay. You should take a pill for sleep.
But what if I don't really like taking pills?
Oh, okay.
Is there something else I can do?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you should read a very boring book, and then you are going to sleep very well.
Good. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Who has not gone yet? Miguel?
Yes, okay.
Miguel, my problem is I'm broke.
I'm broke. You have to go a doctor or a agencies because I brought you it's a pain in your body.
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, the question is I'm broke. It's okay.
Right. I'm broke. Does everyone know what that means, by the way? I'm broke means I have no money.
I have no money.
I have
Ah,
no
sorry.
money. I'm broke. No, that's okay.
I'm thinking in your head.
Ah, okay. Okay. So yeah, it's a common expression. We say, "Oh, I'm broke," right? It means I don't have any money,
I
or I'm very
understand.
low on money. Okay. So my
I
problem
understand.
is I'm broke.
Yes, in this case it's difficult, but you should to try to find a new job, or perhaps it's to speak with a best friend to learn a little to the fair necessities. Yeah, I don't know the word.
Good. Good. Okay. Great. So your suggestion is you should try to find a job, or hope that a good friend will lend you money.
Yes.
Right? Great. Okay. Excellent advice. Thank you. Okay. Next, Hernan, have you gone? Are you there? Okay.
Okay.
My problem is my neighbors are too noisy.
Mm,
My neighbors are too noisy.
okay, you could find other department in other places.
You could find another apartment.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, good. So right away, just get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, good advice. All right,
Okay.
thank you. So
Welcome.
Ming, I forgot to buy my mother a birthday present. What should I do?
You must mm, you must get uh, uh, give her wish when you come to your mother house.
Good. Okay, so to make it up to her, I must buy her a gift, right? For the next time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Victor,
Yep.
a job interview, but nothing to wear.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I have a job interview, but nothing to wear.
You can buy some clothes in the market.
Okay, but I have no money. I'm broke, remember?
You should borrow the money from your friend.
Okay, good. So I should borrow the money from a friend, okay, and buy something. Good.
I have
Thank
a
you.
nice idea for you.
You have an idea for me? Okay, let's hear it.
I've seen in the movie that there was an artist. They put a dress from the store, and they didn't how can I say it? They
They
didn't
take off the tag.
yes take it
Okay.
take off the ticket, so you can use it, and after the interview you can you can back it to the store.
Good. Okay. So did everyone understand that? Right. So the idea is, I've seen this in movies too, right? You buy something from a store, and you make sure you keep the receipt, and then you wear it. You have to be very careful that you don't spill anything on it or get it dirty, right? So you can return it, and as long as you keep the tags on, you return it. Okay, great. Oh, thank you, Amber. And thank you, Victor. All right.
How many
And the
days?
la-
How many days in your country they give you for exchange the clothes?
It depends. It depends. So some stores a month, some stores like 15 days.
Yes,
Is that about average for everyone?
yes, 14.
Yeah, 14 days. Yeah, so it depends. Okay. All right, and last but not least, how do you say your name? Wuxian?
I'm here, Vishen.
Wuxian. Okay.
Right.
So I have headaches all the time. and I don't know what to do.
Why don't you go to the doctor?
Good. Great. Okay, so a good use, I think that's the first person to use the phrase, why don't you? Okay, and that's a great one. So we use that a lot for suggestions. So like, why don't you, or why not, go to the doctor? Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so now, before we move on, does anyone have questions about any of this? Okay. If you ever have questions at any point, feel free to ask them. This is a quiet group. Okay, so I want you now to think of your own problems, right? You can make up some problems and try to make them interesting or difficult, and your classmates will have to offer you advice. All right? So whoever wants to start, you can. Just think of any problem in the world. It can be real or invented. And then you can choose which one of your classmates you would like to give you advice. So who wants to start?
Can I start?
Absolutely.
Okay, I will ask question. I don't know. Next to me is Wishen.
Questions, okay?
Hi, Wishen.
Okay. Hello, Wishen.
Hello.
I have some kind of problem. I'm very lazy person, and it's very hard for me to learn English. It's very urgent for me for my job, but I'm very lazy. What would you suggest?
Oh, me too. Okay. Okay. You. Okay. And when on the weekend you go to work or not? On the weekend?
So the question, do you go to work on the weekend?
Yes, yes. Sometimes
Oh.
I'm working on weekends. Yes.
Whoa. So I think why don't you go when you go to the you have free time, you could go to the webinar and learn English.
You could go to the?
Go to the webinar and learning.
Good. Okay, so just do it when you have free time. Okay. Do you think that's good advice?
I don't quite get the answer. I didn't understand.
You didn't understand the answer. Okay, so, all right, so Wishian, can you explain the answer in different words?
Okay, why don't you looking for free time and you could go to the web and to learning English.
Oh yes, I get it. Yes, very good advice, and that's why I'm joined this Werbling website.
Good to get advice.
It
Okay.
gives me a great opportunity. So thank you.
Good. All right. Thank you very much, Wishian. All right. So now, I want you to think of a problem and ask one of your classmates to solve it. So Wishian.
Sorry. Okay.
That's okay. So it's your turn.
Okay. Hernan. Hi, Hernan. Right?
Okay.
It's correct? Hernan?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Easy, please.
Okay. And right now I feel my body is has fat. Uh, why? No. Would you mind to explain me how to no fat have good health for me? Do you understand me?
No, I understand.
Okay. Okay. But now I work. I am hard work, but I looking for free time, and I would like to the gym. And would you mind explain me what I can do and go to the gym?
Activities for the free times? I don't know.
Wait, so was the problem that in your free time you want to go to the gym? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, but I want to I don't know how to exercise. I don't know how to.
Good. Okay, so he wants to go to the gym, but doesn't know how to exercise. Has never exercised before, maybe. What's a good way to start?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't practice exercise, but I don't know. First you must go to first to the doctor, and it's probably that the doctor prepare a routine, and you go call practice first biking or other activities previous to the gym. I don't know. You need or you can find other options like I don't know, biking. I don't know what other activities. I don't know.
So maybe join us.
Yeah, or run or climb. I don't know.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I don't practice
It's alright. It's alright.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
So good. So the advice was first. Good. The advice was first go to the doctor and find a training program, and then you also find some different activities. Like if you like to play sports, join a sports team, right? Something like that. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So now, you're next. I want you to ask one of your classmates for advice on a problem.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. I don't know what. Victor?
Okay.
Okay. Victor, where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Russia?
Yep.
Okay. I need to go to. I need to travel to Russia, but what information or what I don't know what I need to travel about to documents or special information.
Good.
And what question is?
So the question was he wants to travel to Russia, but doesn't know what documents he needs and things like that.
What recommendation do you have for me if I need to travel to Russia?
You should find information in Google, I think.
Oh, thanks.
Right, imagine that it's 20 years ago and Google doesn't exist.
I never traveled in Russia from another country. I don't know what.
Ah, okay, so you don't know. Who do you think he could talk to?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe a State Department or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but that makes sense. You've never had to travel into Russia from another country. Okay, fair enough. Good. So his advice was you should Google it. All right,
Yeah.
Victor, Google. What's your problem?
My problem is I can't swim, but I will want to learn how to swim. I took some lessons, but I only can swim as a rock. What should I do?
Good. Okay. And who would you like to ask for advice?
Some mean.
Okay, Summing.
You you can learn how to swim from the internet, because I learned to swim from the internet. I see the YouTube where can teach you how to swim fast and formal. Yes.
Great.
And you?
Okay.
Good. So, do you think this is good advice?
I didn't understand.
I didn't understand. Okay. Summing, can you repeat your advice? I thought it was interesting.
Yes. You can learn how to swim from the internet, because there are too many videos to teach you how to swim better.
Okay. I see. Yes.
Good. So his advice is you can learn from the internet,
From YouTube.
which is interesting. I never would have thought of that. YouTube.
Should I swim with
Okay.
my tablet PC?
You should speak with your tablet. Yes. Good.
Okay.
Okay. So who is the Summing? You gave your advice. Why don't you offer a problem?
My problem is I don't have enough money to travel around the world. But I think I cannot easy to find a new job to get more money. What should I do? Maybe I ask David.
Okay, David.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Can you explain again?
Okay. I don't have enough money to travel around the world. But I cannot find another job to get more money. What should I do? Could you give me advice?
I understand that you want to travel, but you don't have money, yeah? Right?
Yes, that's right, I think.
Okay. Okay, you should go to the bank and ask for a loan, and maybe you will have the money to the trip.
Okay. Summing, what do you think? Is this good advice?
I'm sorry, I don't hear clearly.
You couldn't hear.
Yeah,
Can you repeat it?
Could you repeat?
Okay. I think you should go to the bank and ask for a loan, yeah, and maybe you can do the trip.
Good. So the advice was
that
go
is
to the
good
bank
advice.
and ask for a loan.
I think I go to the bank to rob the money is better to get a loan.
Good. Okay. Great. So thank you. Okay. David, what's your problem?
Okay, my problem is I have two girlfriends, and I can't decide between them.
You have
I can
two
choose.
girlfriends,
Yeah.
did you say?
Yeah.
All right. So
What advice?
Who would you like to ask for advice about your two girlfriends?
I don't know who is free, teacher, who is not.
Who has yet to answer? Who has not given advice yet?
Me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Dharma, Dharma, give me your
Dharma.
best advice.
Okay. You might want to consider giving one of your girlfriend to me. Or
No.
or why don't you just or why don't you just split yourself to become 2%?
I
Yeah.
think the most
Okay.
important, I think the most important thing that you have to be the most best or the best liar in the world.
What was that?
Yeah, I
To
don't
be
get.
the best liar.
Oh yeah,
To be the best liar in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
could be.
So interesting. I like the first one. So why don't you give? You might want to give one of them to me. I think that's my favorite advice so far.
Yeah, good
Good.
advice.
Okay. So has everyone practiced asking for and giving advice?
Not me.
Ah, you haven't.
Yes.
Okay. So
I
what's
haven't
your?
also.
You haven't also. Okay. So you two. So let's see, Emmer, what's your problem?
Okay. My problem. Okay, it's a real problem.
Okay.
Nowadays, I'm thinking to take a master's degree, and I made a money for that, but I need to also to buy a car because I need both
What was the
because
first thing?
I
I
need
couldn't
to
hear
take
you.
a master's degree, and
Ah, okay.
here in my country it costs a lot.
Okay. But you also need
So
to buy a car, you said.
yes, because my work is further to my home. So
Further from my home. Good.
yeah, further from the home. Yes, and
Okay.
I don't know what shall I do.
Okay, good. Interesting problem. And who said they had not asked for advice? Or sorry, who had said they have not given advice?
For example.
Okay, Mikhail, go ahead.
Okay, your name is Amaro. I don't know. Okay, the problem is you need money to take a
No,
master.
I'm already have that money,
Sorry.
but I am already have that money. I ask you for how to invest it to take a master or to buy a car.
Yes, you need to know if you is better to invest the
Yes.
money to buy a new car or take a master. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, I think the first you take the what you can do the master. I think it's more important in the future. You can report a lot of money and a better job. I support. But you need a car, you can a second hand car, a little car in a little money is better. In my opinion. I don't know.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so
But
I think
the
that's good advice.
transportation here is is um tough. The transportation here is tough.
It's tough.
Yes.
What do you mean? It's
I mean,
bad or it's
bad. Yes.
okay. Alright, so the public transportation is not very good.
Yes.
It's a problem. Okay, but Mikhail thinks you should do the masters because eventually, with the masters, you would make more money.
Okay. Thank you for
Alright,
your advice.
very polite. Okay, and Mikhail, would you like to offer a problem?
I don't know. Is all participants, all the students? I don't know.
Yes, I have not answered it.
Hello, you for example. My problem is I want to go abroad, but I don't sure which country to go.
Good.
I think you should choose by your interests. If you are interested in some cultural places, if I were you, I would go in Eastern countries, India, China, I don't know. If you are interested in some, make some fun, and so on, I would go in some European countries.
Good, excellent advice. So I think you should choose by your interests. I think that's great advice. Mikael, what do you think?
Yes, it's I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, I think about this and try to pick up the best solution.
Good. Okay. So, and one thing, it's not to make fun, it's to have fun. Just a small correction. Okay? So I heard to make some fun, but it's to have some fun. Okay. And Hella, have you already asked for advice?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you have. Okay, so everyone has asked for and received advice. Yes. Okay. So, any questions? I think everyone gave some good advice, and you showed that you understand how to use these modal verbs. So, I want to see if you can do it in writing. Okay, so for the last, 7 or 8 minutes, I would say take about 4 or 5 minutes and write a few sentences in response to this problem. Okay, and then you can either type your response into the verbling box, and I will give you feedback. Or if you want, you can read it to me out loud whenever you're ready. So the problem is, I'll write it here. The problem is, I'm bored of my job. Okay? So I want you to write, let's say, 2 to 3 sentences using these modal verbs to give advice in response to this problem. Okay? And when you're finished, just type it into the verbling box, or you can read it to me out loud if you prefer. And if you can, try to use a variety of different structures, right? So don't just use you should, you should, you should. Try to vary it. Use if I were you, I would. Use strong suggestions, weak suggestions. Try to use a lot of the things we've learned and show me you understand the differences. Okay, so for those of you who have already typed something, I will speak to you. So we'll start with Miguel. Okay, so Miguel, you should try to change or speak with your boss
you should try to change of work or speak with your boss to put in another position is more motivating.
Okay, so good, very good. The only problem with this at all is this is not a word. Okay, so I would say speak with your boss to try. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
yes.
speak with your boss to try to get promoted to another position. Good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Very good, though. Victor, if I were you, I would find new ways to work. Good. Maybe you should try online teaching. Okay, very good. All right, perfect. Ahmad, you should take it easy and deal with it. No one is happy with one problem. No one is happy with. Can someone tell me what the problem is here? In the second sentence. So it's fine until.
With their job, yes?
Good, yeah, okay. So it should say no one is happy with their jobs or their job. Okay. Next, if I were you, I would try to find some other job. You should find out what you like in your job, what you don't like in your job. Excuse me. You can quit. You have to be more forward and tell about it to your boss. If your salary is good, you shouldn't make quick decisions. Okay, very good advice. Only 2 small problems. So you can quit. You have to be more forward and tell your boss about it. Okay? And then if your salary is good. Are those clear? Okay, so just 2 small changes for Hela. Okay, but very good. All right, Dharma, if I were you, I would take a break and go to Bali, Indonesia. But if you're still bored and you're back, you should find the job. Your passion job it's not incorrect, but it sounds a bit weird. So I would say you should find the job you're truly passionate about. But otherwise, good advice. Bali would be very nice. Okay, and we have a few in the chat box. Amr, if I were you, I'd ask myself why it makes it bored and try to change what I don't like if it's possible. I meant to find the reason for making it bored. Okay, good. So advice is good. The structure needs to be changed a tiny bit. So I would say, can anyone think of a way to rephrase this advice? It's in the chat box. The problem is the difference between bored and boring. So here, bored is, I'm bored, means that there is something in my environment that is boring me. Right? So here you would have to say, if I were you, I'd ask myself, what makes it boring, and try to change what I don't like if possible. I mean, to find the reason that it is boring. Okay, is that clear? All right, not sure if you can hear me, but to everyone, thank you very much. Do you have any last-minute questions? Okay, if you do, feel free to send me a message. But otherwise, have a good day or evening, and thank you very much for coming to class.
Thank you very much, teacher.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.